Hi and welcome to another episode of the iOS show. On this episode, I will be sharing with you 3 tips on traveling with your iPhone. Starting with turning off data roaming on your phone. If you don't wish to see a humongous phone bill just because you used your data plan accidentally while you were overseas with your iPhone, just make sure that data roaming is off. By default, the phone will have it off, but just in case, go into your settings and go into General and look for the Network menu and be sure that data roaming is off, and this is what it looks like when it's on. Make sure it's off. If you want to be extra safe, you can turn off cellular data and there will be no longer any 3G data available for your device. Here is another tip. If you just want to use the apps on your iPhone, such as your calendar and things like that, and you don't wish to sign up for any data plan, you don't care about calls, you just want to be cost free but just use the iPhone as though it's an iPod Touch, you can do that by turning it to airplane mode, just by turning it on like that. All of the radios on the phone will be completely off, and that will be ensuring that you will not be paying any roaming bill. In fact, if you really want to be super paranoid, you can completely remove the SIM card from the phone as well, but you don't have to do that. Switching it to airplane mode is as good as removing the SIM card from the phone itself. And if you come across any Wi-Fi hotspots along the way, you can still turn on your Wi-Fi hotspots even though it's still in airplane mode. In fact, you can even turn on your Bluetooth as well if you want to use any of your stereo Bluetooth headsets and stuff like that. And all of these things are on right now, my Wi-Fi as well as my Bluetooth, even though the phone is in airplane mode. So that will ensure that you will not be charged for any roaming data, neither will you be charged for roaming calls. If you really need to use mobile data while overseas, I recommend looking out for prepaid internet data SIM cards. So these are SIM cards that provide only data, so no phone calls or SMSs, and most of the time they come in about fixed charges. If you come to Singapore or Malaysia for holiday, for example, you can get them for about 18 Singapore dollars, which gives you about 3 days or maybe even 7 days of internet access, of unlimited internet access for a single cost. So that's actually a lot more affordable and quite worth it as well. Of course, that will also mean you need to bring 2 things along with you. Make sure you brought your data SIM ejector, and also it might be good to look for a SIM card crimper. You can actually buy these at quite low cost around most tech shops, and what that allows you to do is basically take a full-size SIM card, put it in the crimper, and sort of like punch out a micro SIM card that the iPhone 4 or the iPhone 4S would require. And all you gotta do is just replace the SIM card and put the new one in. This is where things get a little bit tricky, unfortunately. That's because the iPhone doesn't support many service providers overseas, especially if you are using a prepaid card. So in this case, once I put the Malaysia DG prepaid SIM card, you'll notice that when I go into the network settings, the APN menu is no longer available. That is the menu that you need to go to set up the SIM card so that it is capable of connecting to the internet, and it's no longer here. The good news is that there is a way for you to put the APN settings into the phone. The bad news is that you will need to look out for a Wi-Fi network for that to happen. So start looking for a Wi-Fi hotspot, and I recommend doing that at the airport where there is Wi-Fi, hopefully. And make sure that you have internet access and visit www.unlockit.co.nz and click go. And this will send you to a particular website set up by this really nice guy who has provided ability to change the APN on the phone without needing to jailbreak your phone at all. So once you're visiting this website, hit on continue, choose custom APN, and the country, choose the country that you're visiting. In this case, this SIM card comes from Malaysia, so I'm just going to go down to M for Malaysia right here, click done, and choose the carrier that you got the SIM card from. In this case it's DG, and choose create profile. And what that will do is give you APN carrier settings in the form of a certificate, and click on install. Click install now, and your internet connection should now be connected via the 3G from your data SIM card. Now once you're back in Singapore, you'll notice that your phone will not function anymore because it's still using the APN settings from the country that you were visiting. So to turn that off, go into Generals and Profiles and look for the APN carrier settings and remove the profile, and now it will restore it back to the default APN settings from your phone from your home country. And that's it for this episode of the iOS show. If you thought this tip was useful, give us a thumbs up on YouTube, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/65bits, and visit our website at www.tech65.org for more awesome content.